Hello, folks. You know what that sound means. It's a time for another Last Chance Radio with David Benjamin. And I am coming to you special live tonight because there is just too much mayhem on the horizon for us not to come out here and talk to you tonight. We've got to get some of this on the books, baby. And I'm going to come to you live right now. Here we are. How are you? What's up? Peace. Glad to see you. And we're going to get right into the show here, man. We're going to cut right to the chase. And so everybody knows, hopefully by this point, that the United States has conducted an airstrike against some of the leading tango producers, bomb makers, and American killers this evening. And, you know, I am definitely a Democrat and a very strong liberal, etc. But when it comes to our military, our intelligence services taking out a bad guy, a scumbag, I'm in. Flat out, man. Flat out. So this is no props to Donald Trump. This is props to the United States military, the United States Navy, the United States intelligence services. And I'll even throw a biscuit out to our buddies over in Israel because I have a sneaky suspicion. I have a sneaky suspicion that the Israeli Mossad was in on this strike somehow. And we'll get to that, right? But man, how are you tonight? I am glad you are checking in with me here to see what's going on. Now, the two vehicles that I saw get hit, and this was going all the way back to this afternoon, right? I saw the remains of the vehicles, and when I saw them, I said, no, I'm sorry, these are not Katyushas that just randomly fell directly into two vehicles. Come on, man. What are you thinking? Who is, like, you guys need, either someone needs field experience or military experience or some kind of experience to be able to report on military activities and whatnot, because you guys are failing. So, anyways, I'm here to tell you that when you see two vehicles pulverized and smashed into dog poop, they were probably hit with hellfires, each one of them, coming off a drone or off the aircraft carrier, Lincoln Group, the Lincoln strike group. God bless you boys and girls out there on that floating vessel of liberty and justice. And guess what? You delivered some justice tonight, didn't you? Hoa. Good for you guys, man. So listen, tonight I put out a tweet, and I'm showing it to you now. Iranian commander equivalent to a U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff general killed in Baghdad, drone missile strike, CIA, Mossad, and special ops targeting, along with FACs or forward air controllers gathering DNA now at the scene. This is going to be big, folks. This is not small time. These people went and swung for a homer and knocked it over the big green wall out of Boston Park, baby. Remember? I told you this is coming on May 8th, man. May 8th. Where are we now? Okay. January 3rd. Now into January 4th. I told you on May 8th this was coming, baby. I told you. Did I not tell you? You don't believe me? Okay. Let me prove it to you. But first, I gotta do my thing, man. This show is only on the air so that I can ask you to please support my show. Inertial guidance, vibration and frequency, how to tune them for your life. You can buy it right through Amazon or Barnes and Noble. This is not going to be long or anything. What if I told you the symbolism that we see around us is actually rooted in truth? There's so much good information in here about how to talk to other human beings. I just am asking you to please support the show and make yourself smarter and buy the book. I would really appreciate it. Okay? So let's get back to where we were. Okay? And like I told you, on May 8th, I put out original background and .connect, Kushner, MBS, Netanyahu form a tri-pact to war versus Iran. U.S. carrier strike group in Iranian waters. That's what I said then. Okay? Now, you can go to my Twitter page, my Twitter feed, at David Man on Fire on Twitter. Write me. Tell me what you think. Tell me you hate me. Tell me you love me. Whatever works for you. And that's cool. You know, I got no problem with that. And this is that Twitter post, and it is directly pinned to the top of my Twitter timeline, my Twitter feed. So if you go to at David Man on Fire, you will see this exact thing posted right there. And you'll see how I lay out the tri-pact. And it's one of the, I got to tell you, after all this time, it's one of the few stories I feel like I figured out so far ahead of its time that it kind of freaks me out in a way. But I guess, hey man, I guess a clock's got to be right twice a day, right? No matter where you set it, you know? So, I'm just happy I could be here and share this with you. And I'm going to pop into this for a second. Okay? So you can see it. Okay? Now, what's in here is mostly about how Jamal Khashoggi was killed by a bunch of MBS henchmen. Okay? And how Trump sold out nuclear secrets to the Saudi Arabians. Now, the third part of this was a deal with Netanyahu that if America got into a war, and MBS had to agree to this also, if America got into a war with Iran, okay, the Israelis would back us, and also MBS, Saudi Arabia, would back us. Now, it's a very rare circumstance where you would get the Israelis and the Saudis both ready to hit Iran. But you know what? They're on the same page now. Everybody got something in the tri-pact deal. The way the tri-pact deal worked was very simply like this. Kushner was upside down on a 6-6 building in New York City by over $1 billion. So he went to MBS, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and he said, I need you to block the Qataris ports. Block them, and when they pay off the ransom, we will pull off the ships and let Qatar return to incoming and outgoing commerce. But so, what did everybody get? What was this deal here? What's this tri-pact deal I'm talking about? Well, here's the way it worked. Kushner blackmailed the Qataris by blocking their port with the Saudi Arabian Navy, And if you look it up, you'll find it all by yourself. This is not like, This is not like, nuclear science, chemistry, MIT stuff. This is simple stuff, man. So Kushner owed over $1 billion on a building. He got the Saudi Arabians to block the Qataris port. The Qataris, if they wanted to re-establish their in and out lanes of commerce, had to pay Kushner $999 million for 10% of the 666 building for 99 years. That's what Kushner got. Okay? So, what is, of course, what's the back end on this, right? What does MBS get, right? Well, MBS gets the broken off arm of Westinghouse nuclear construction. Think about that for a minute. Break off that component of Westinghouse and then sell it to MBS for pennies on the dollar, which is what happened. Now, guess what, folks? The Israelis are not stupid people. The Mossad works 24/7, 365, baby. You know what I'm saying? So they go to Netanyahu and they go, Mr. Prime Minister, we got an issue here, sir. We got an issue. They're giving these people nuclear. So what are they going to do? They're going to pull the old deal where they airstrike stuff once it gets built? No. Instead, you know what happens? Netanyahu flies as the first prime minister to land on a Saudi runway, meets with MBS, right? The only thing MBS and Netanyahu have to agree to is that if there is a war with Iran, the Saudis will defend Israel, Israel will defend Saudi Arabia, vice versa. Okay? Then there's a final little key to this that had to get thrown in there on the back end by Kushner, and that was a percentage of Genie Energy. And you can look that up. Type in Wikipedia. When you get to the Wikipedia page, type in Genie Energy. Then just scroll down about, 15 lines, and you'll see that Dick Cheney, former heads of the CIA, former vice presidents, former State Department heads, former senators and congressmen are all on the board of Genie Energy, and it is like one of the most unbelievable things you'll ever see. It's like you're going, are you serious? You guys are really doing this? Really? Like, really? So Netanyahu got a piece of that. So now everybody's paid off, right? So now, here we are on the 4th of the new year, 2020, okay? Donald Trump has been impeached, and he's about to be taken to the Senate for trial. And let me ask you a simple question, folks, and tell me if you don't go along with this or not. What's the easiest way to deflect away from an impeachment trial? Let's start a war. And everybody who's a good American, because if you don't fall in behind this, you're not a good American, obviously, right? Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. You hear me? He is starting a war to deflect away from impeachment. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. The Iranians have deserved a lot of the ass kicking they're about to take, and I would strongly suggest that they just back off and go away. But they won't, because they've got egos, and they've got their own stuff going on, so to speak. You know? So, what are you going to do? You know? I'm just here to let you know about the news and what's really going on. The news behind the news. That's what I try and tell you guys all the time. The Iranian waters are filled with the Lincoln strike package. 12 hours ago, just before this happened, on military.com, they made an announcement that the Lincoln was turning around and going home to relieve its sailors. Guess who probably saw that and said to themselves, oh, it's probably safe to travel now? Well, I guess not. I guess not. So, here we are tonight on the verge. I got to tell you, folks, just before I get out of here, right? These people are apocalyptic, man. They've got apocalyptic stuff on their minds, and we should be really careful about what we do, how we do it, etc. Because, you know, we really don't need a war. We don't need any kind of war. Especially when we got kids on the line, man. Enough already. How many years do we want to stay at war? We've been at war for over 20 years between Iraq and Afghanistan. Enough, man. But at the same time, yes, we do have to defend ourselves, and I agree with that. I'm glad these guys were taken out because they were scumbags, period. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for you at all. But I hope you see what's going on. I hope you keep your eyes open. Please hit the comment and leave me a message. Tell me you like the show or you hate me or whatever. Hit subscribe. And then right next to subscribe is the little bell. So if you click on the bell anytime I have a new piece coming out, you'll be able to see when that new piece comes out. And if you have any really good information about this story or any other stories, please also hit me up on at David Man on Fire on Twitter. And I'm really grateful to be here. My name's David Benjamin. This is Last Chance Radio. You have a good night now, man. You hear what I'm saying? Outcomes.